Hello and welcome to another video. Today I have this household dehumidifier. Essentially, some places where you have too much humidity in the summertime in the home, you can use this, or mostly meant for like basements. So I'm going to use it in my basement. My old one that's been there for many years doesn't work anymore, so I needed a new one. Mine actually drains into a sump pump. So if you have like something that drains into a sump pump, this will work. Or if you want something with a tank, this also has a tank inside. All right, let's see. I'll leave an Amazon link to it below as usual. So this one, it says it's meant for an area 5 to 25 meters squared, which is about 700 square feet or something like that. It has a 1200 mLs or about a quart of capacity of water a day. So it has a 2.5 liter tank in there, so which is 2/3 of a gallon, and then it'll take out about a quart of water a day from the air. So that's pretty strong for most places. I mean, if you have a very large basement that you want to dehumidify, or you have a lot more humidity issues, then you might want something stronger. Let's see, here's the cable. Now, depending on if you had an older dehumidifier, depending on how old that was, you may be used to very big devices. This is much smaller. This is probably a third of the size of what my old one looks like, with about the same capacity. So I'm kind of impressed right off the bat at how small it is, which is kind of cool. I'll show you side by side my old one and the new one. So installation manual, really instruction manual. Not much to it. Power on and off, and just instruction on how to use the dehumidifier. Okay, so it comes with this wire that's detachable, so in case you break it, it's one of those standard H or infinity shaped connector that goes in there, so you can buy these replacement cables in case you need to. In the back, this is where this plugs into. This thing comes out. Not really sure what the use of that is, but it does come out. I'll leave that in. This is the tank. This is just tape for shipping. I think you can just leave it on or take it off, whatever you want to do. So the dehumidifier will kind of drip into this tank right here. You can take the top off, and there's most of the hose in here in a Ziploc bag. So let's take the hose out. This hose essentially, connects to the back right here. So we're going to take this out. If you want to use just the tank by itself, you can leave the stopcock connected. But I'm actually going to connect the hose because I do have a sump pump that it drains into. So you can essentially put this back on top, like so. And this slides in there, and this will go into your sump pump pit and drain into there, and then the sump pump will pump it out of your basement. So if you don't want to use this, make sure you hold on to your stopcock to stop this hole, and then it will collect in the tank, and then you can empty it from there. Now, this thing on top, I'm not entirely sure if I need it. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, you do need it to take this off. So essentially, when the water is full, this float device will float up, and it will actually turn off the sump pump. So the sump pump will turn off the dehumidifier. So when the tank is full, the dehumidifier will automatically turn off, because this float switch will, turn off the pump. So you do need this on. All right, let's go ahead and plug it in to where my sump pump pit is, and I'll show you it next to the old dehumidifier. This is what the front looks like, and we'll turn it on and go through all the functions as well. Okay, I'm close to where my sump pump pit is, which is over here. This hose that comes from the back of the dehumidifier, I'm going to make sure it goes well into the sump pump pit. So you just kind of drop it in there. I'm going to move the dehumidifier closer, because I don't really need for it to be sticking out and open. So you do want to leave some room in the front and the back for good airflow, for the humid air to go in and the dehumidified air to come out. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in to my outlet here. Okay, So this is the old dehumidifier. I have the tank sitting on top, but this is how big it is. Compare this to this one, which is, like I said, third, maybe a quarter of the size. When you first turn it on, you just press the power button. Automatically, it turns on, and there's different lights, colors that it will go through. So as you can see, it's changing colors. If you wanted a particular light to meet the ambience of a bedroom or a kitchen or something like that, you can do that, or you can leave it as is. This is a timer. So the 3 settings is 8 hours, 12 hours, and 24 hours. Now, if you look closely, there's these lights, but I'm not, oh, here we go. You have to press it a little bit. So you can change it to 8 hours on, 16 hours off, 12 on, 12 off, or 24 hours on, or you can have the timer off and it's just on all the time. I'm gonna leave it on an 8-hour timer every day, so it just turns on for 8 hours every day. Another thing is, if you don't want to turn it off, you just want to put it on sleep, you can just press the sleep button and it just kind of goes into sleep mode, and you can press it again to turn off the sleep mode. Compared to the older devices, which are quite inefficient, these are actually quite efficient. I looked up the watt-hour usage, and it's actually quite low compared to my old device. Now, I'm not sure how strong it will be, but my basement in general is fairly dry, so I don't think I'm going to have any issues. But if I have any issues, obviously I'll make sure to run it more than 8 hours a day. So if you have an old dehumidifier and you actually use the dehumidifier in your home, even if it's working, I think it's probably better to go ahead and upgrade it to one of the newer devices that's more efficient. Also, I forgot to mention the back, this part, actually you can put a filter in there. So if you want a HEPA filter to put in there, you can put it in there to purify your air. So for example, if you're using it for your bedroom or some sort of living space. Since this is for my basement, I don't actually need to use the filter function, but you could use it as a filter as well. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment below and I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.